Matt Gaetz, and I would like to yield to him for whatever time he cares to use.
I thank the gentleman from Texas for yielding. And, Mr. Speaker, I rise today to speak to the danger that is currently posed by the Islamic Republic of Iran. Iran and its fundamentalist government pose the gravest threat to global peace, stability in the Middle East, and Israel's existence. Iran continues to extend its dangerous hegemony through the region in places such as Lebanon by arming and training Hezbollah, in Gaza by arming Hamas, in Syria, Iraq, and in Yemen. Iran's taking hostage of U.S. sailors, and its continued ballistic missile tests and death threats to Israel highlight Iran's evil intentions and the need for the United States to play a leading role in rolling back Iran's growing influence and its push to destabilize the Middle East and the world. These issues have been exacerbated by the irresponsible and catastrophic nuclear deal between Iran and the P.5+1. It's obvious to anyone that the $150 billion given to Iran will be used to fund more terror and further Iran's destructive ambitions. In addition, the nuclear deal legitimizes Iran's ability to enrich uranium and functionally ensures Iran's path to a nuclear weapon within 10 years. The deal is structured to mask Iran's inevitable noncompliance. As a member of the Florida legislature, I had supported Florida's Iran divestment. And as a member of Congress, I very much look forward to reauthorizing the Iran Sanctions Act. I am extremely proud of Trump and his administration for enacting appropriate sanctions against Iranian officials who have been engaged in the most recent destructive and destabilizing nuclear tests. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, Americans, Israelis, and all citizens of the world who aspire to peace continue to be harmed by the reckless and irresponsible foreign policy of the past president's administration. Former President Obama believed in a policy of appeasement toward Iran. This is not dissimilar to the policies of appeasement that Neville Chamberlain used when confronting the threats of Nazi Germany. But if President Obama was America's Neville Chamberlain, perhaps his time has given rise to Donald Trump and the opportunity to be America's Winston Churchill. I support President Trump's efforts to send a message to Iran that ballistic missile testing will not be tolerated, because Iran only understands strength. And for the last 8 years, they have seen from this country far too much weakness and far too much willingness to accept their destructive role in the world. Mr. Speaker, the way Iran operates is through a series of franchises for terror, whether that's Hamas or Hezbollah, whether that's the Houthis in Yemen. We see time and time again Iran acting as a neo-Persian, neo-Ottoman empire. That cannot be tolerated in a peaceful world. It cannot be tolerated in the most dangerous neighborhood on earth. And it underscores the importance of Americans speaking with resolve and with strength in condemning the most recent ballistic missile tests and in standing with our greatest ally, Israel. It was shameful that in the waning hours of the Obama administration, President Obama was willing to allow the United Nations to take action against Israel and continuing its furtherance of appeasement towards some of the most dangerous countries on the planet Earth who do not share our values or our interests. And so I am glad to see an American reset, a resurgent America, again speaking to the great values that have functioned as a beacon of hope for the world for generations. That is what we must return to. And that is what President Trump is doing today. So I applaud his administration. I applaud his Secretary of the Treasury for stepping forward and advancing these needed sanctions. I am hopeful that this Congress will continue to take action to show support for President Trump in this endeavor, but we must also recognize that this is but a first step. So much damage has been done to the cause of peace for the last 8 years under President Obama, and we have much work to do in this Congress, whether it is rebuilding and restoring our military so that we can be a force for peace, whether it's making sure that our allies know that we will stand with them, or whether it's making sure that our adversaries know that we are very serious and there will be serious consequences for their bad behavior. I am proud of this America that we are working toward together. I'm proud of these policies, and I yield back to the gentleman from Texas so that he may have the opportunity to speak to the importance of America speaking with a voice of clarity for peace, prosperity, and strength throughout